this?
It's dangerous to podcast alone.
I'm your rainy day host, Madelyn.
I'm your, I don't know what the weather's like outside, Emma.
It's probably it's Sunday, so it's actually not raining, but maybe you can.
It might be.
Who knows? This isn't the weather report yet.
Nope.
Thanks for tuning in, listener, to this week's side quest episode, where we talk about things that we don't talk about when we're doing our main storyline on our other bi-weekly cycle.
Yes.
We talk what we've been playing, aka our save data, aka side quest format 3.0, but shorter, well, kind of, anyway. We talk the weather, but not the rain. We talk off-topic corner, we talk traffic report, and we talk question of the fortnight. I tried to give a kind of professional intro that time, and I just think I just fell on my face.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, listener, it's been an exciting 2 weeks of video game playing here at Talk This. So I think we're just going to jump right in. Emma, what's on your memory card? What's your save data from the past 2 weeks?
Well, why don't we start with what we played together, since we were at our home base.
That's right.
During this 2 weeks.
So you might have noticed in last week's full episode that we sounded just a little closer together. They were a little bit more like our audio streams were consistent. And that's because that was not a dig at editor Emma, by the way. That was just a dig at my inability to record. Mostly. Well, we were actually together last weekend, so last week's episode was a reunited Talk This Sisters podcast.
Yes.
And we got to play a bunch of video games while we were home, because although there are no longer, at the moment, video game consoles at our DC home birthplace of Talk This, I brought home my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, she even brought her dock.
I was not going to miss out on a chance to play my video games on a TV that is the size of a TV.
But anyway, we played some Overcooked and some Overcooked 2. Overcooked 2 is much easier than the original Overcooked. I mean, we were playing the DLC levels, so maybe those are, particularly harder, but Overcooked 2 was, really easy for most of it. Yeah,
and I really remember, I think, anyway, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, and maybe I've just gotten better at the game, right? I'm willing to concede those facts. But I really remember in Overcooked having to replay a lot of levels in the original one pretty early on to get those 3 stars. Whereas this time we're just blowing the 3-star mark out of the water, almost constantly.
Yeah, we never had to play a level more than 2 or 3 times to get the 3 stars.
And Emma, look, I'm also willing to concede that maybe you are just better at Overcooked than my other Overcooked partner.
I was really into the throwing food, so...
Yeah, the new throwing... So I've now played through all of the original Overcooked and all of its DLC. And now, I mean, I don't know how long Overcooked 2 is, right? But that's got to be half of it, right?
Uh-huh.
Ish. And yeah, the throwing food mechanic is a lot of fun. It's taking me a lot of getting used to. I've done a fair bit of throwing food off of the edge into the abyss.
Or sometimes she just dashes off the edge.
That's true. That's another thing. Having a hard time keeping the dash button and the throw button straight. We're working on that. But it is really satisfying when you throw the food right into the pan. Yeah. Unless you're Emma and you throw the food in and you ruin another dish.
Oops. We also were less good at playing some of the Escapists too.
I can't decide if the game is just really hard or if we're not playing it well.
I guess it's just kind of Overcooked in a way, in that you play a level once and then you figure out how to do it and you go back and do it better. You know?
I guess so, yeah.
So it's really a puzzle game.
No, it definitely is a puzzle game. The problem is I just feel like there's not enough items to go around where you can explore and find... I guess you're right that it's really Overcooked, that you really intended to kind of use your first playthrough as just a scouting level. But the problem I was having is that you know, I would have been fine taking more risks had there been more items to go around.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like as soon as you blew kind of one risky exploration attempt or attempt to knock out a guard and you lost some stuff, like that was it. Like that's the end. You're going to have to spend another like 20 minutes amassing enough of the boring materials to build that up again.
I also really hated that, like, if one person has a key card when you're playing co-op, only that person can go through doors.
Yeah, we made it work. Key. We made it work. Like, thank goodness.
We sort of fudged it.
Thank goodness we still figured out how to get out. But wow, that was really disappointing. Because
Because it feels like when you're playing co-op, you should be able to let somebody through when you have a key. You know?
It does.
Well.
For those of you who haven't played The Escapists 2 yet, by the way, it's a game where you can play single player, but it also has a lot of local co-op options, which I love. It also has online co-op, which I feel like would just be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But it has this local co-op option, and basically you're prisoners, and your goal is to escape from prison while also going to enough of your prison routine that you don't tip off the guards. So you do a lot of crafting, you do a lot of exploring and sneaking around, you do a lot of lifting weights and reading books so you can get better at crafting and sneaking around. Yeah. All that good stuff.
Yeah. It's a really good idea. It feels like it sometimes falters in its execution a little bit.
In the same way as I want Overcooked 2 to be a little bit more challenging, and I get why it's not, right? Because Overcooked really blew up. And now they want everybody's going to be buying Overcooked 2, right? And they want people to have fun and not hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want that game to be a little harder. I want The Escapists 2 to be just a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I don't need anything about it to be easier, the actual gameplay. I just need there to be more stuff that's useful for me lying around. And I need someone out there to explain to me how to give stuff to people. When they want it.
I apparently you just talk to them when you have it, when they're not doing something. At least that's because it worked once like that for me, but who knows? Because I put it in a desk once and that also worked. So who knows? Anyway.
It's a mystery.
But other than that, I've been swapping between 3 different games over the last 2 weeks. I've been playing some of Valkyria Chronicles 4, which I'm really enjoying. It's fun. It feels like the first one. The first one was a lot of fun. So, I'm enjoying that. Playing some of Celeste, which is our game for next week's episode. So I went ahead and bought it because I'd been thinking about buying it, but had never really had an excuse to. And that's really frustrating, but also fun. Occasionally I'll just it's like a really difficult platformer, sort of. And occasionally I'll just get stuck on a stage and have to do it over and over and over and over again. And I'll just put it down for a while until I can do it again. But there's a lot of really good stuff happening in the story. That's interesting. But we can talk about that next week when we talk about it.
So tune in.
And yeah, tune in next week. And finally, I've been playing The World Ends With You Final Remix, which I'm enjoying. It's not as fun as the DS version. It's a little frustrating for me because the footage won't work for my playlist very well. But, I'm still enjoying it. I feel like there are easy ways they could have made it the DS control scheme though. Like, you could have controlled Neku with the motion controls or the touchscreen, and then the other Joy-Con could have been your partner. The only issue would have been, where to put your partner, I guess, because there's no, top and bottom screen. But still, I like the original DS control scheme. I know people think it's really difficult, but that's, the point. So, yeah. But I'm still enjoying it. I really like that game. And the updated art looks really good. So.
Are you playing in handheld or in,
I'm recording it, so I'm playing it on the TV.
Cool. Do you feel like playing it on handheld would make that easier or better?
The touch stuff?
Yeah.
I think some of the pin inputs would be easier with touch. Just because you don't have to press a button while also moving, right? You're just doing it all at once on the screen. I mean, that's how it was in the OG DS. You moved Neku with touch controls, and you moved his partner with the D-pad. So, yeah. But I'm not having that much trouble with it, honestly. It's just not quite as fun as the DS version, I think. It's not fun. It's just not quite as fun.
Does that wrap up all your save data? You've done your
Yeah, that
dump?
wraps up all my save data.
You forgot that we played one round of Fortnite.
Oh, I did forget that. It was pretty forgettable round, to be fair.
Yeah. We did okay. We tried to shoot somebody.
Yeah, Madelyn abandoned me, like she always does.
It was, like, I had to keep our team alive, alright?
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Didn't work out too well, but if I'd come back to you, we both would have died.
You would have saved
right away.
me. They just left me there, like, they didn't shoot me again. They didn't even try to. So you definitely could have come back and gotten me.
You were bait. You were left there as bait so that I would come.
I was not left there as bait.
Well, whatever.
Anyway, Madelyn, what's your save data?
Okay, so I don't think I really played anything last week before I came home. I was trying to think of if I played any Persona. I don't think I did. Gotta get back to it. I was saying to Emma when I was home, like when I started it at Christmas last year, I was like, haha, like wouldn't it be funny if someone played one day a day? Like wouldn't that be funny? And now it looks like it really might take me a full year, if not more, to finish the game. So, it's not so funny now, is it?
I mean, I got you it this summer. I got it for your birthday, didn't I?
No, you
got
got
Christmas.
it
I got it for Christmas. Yeah.
So that's embarrassing. Let's see. I also, the other big thing, well, first of all, so we, Clickbait Boyfriend still playing, Chain of Memories. He's still not enjoying the card system. Surprise, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, still not enjoying just the lame Disney worlds. I don't know, maybe he is now. He finished his first floor after Traverse Town in Olympus Coliseum, but I fell asleep while he was fighting Hades. So I don't know, maybe he's completely come around. Tune in next time to find out. But also, most notably, I've also been playing The World Ends With You Final Remix, which note, when that title screen came up, huge groan from the Clickbait Boyfriend section of the viewing bed.
The World Ends With You has a bit of a music theme, so I understand why it would be remix.
Yeah, right. I agree. But they've already used it. They've already wasted it.
I guess that's true. But I'm just saying, it makes more sense for this one, because it does have a bit of, like, a music theme. Like, the enemies are noise, your main character wears headphones, Shibuya is run by a composer, apparently. Yeah.
I'm with ya. I'm just reporting. I'm just the messenger.
Yeah.
Also, did you know that the game is, like, inspired by Chain of Memories?
Really?
That's the report from the Wikipedia page.
The GBA version, though?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just like they were, like, it's the same team at Square Enix that made Chain of Memories and made this. And they, like, came up for the idea with this while they were making that game. I mean, you can see the similarities.
Yeah. I mean, I think the DS version is brilliant. I think this one's pretty good. But...
I've been having a fun time. I think the one-handed controller thing is, like, it's nice because it's allowing me to take advantage of the two-player local co-op, which I'll talk about. But it's also just a little, like, why? It feels like we could have switched this to two hands and it would be a lot easier for me.
Yeah, but it kind of ruins the point. If you just give him normal controls, then, like, what's the point?
But how am I supposed to move and attack at the same time?
It's different buttons.
It's hard.
You couldn't move and attack at the same time, really, in the DS version either, because you drag Neku.
I'll grant that. I'm just having a difficult time with that.
Yeah, sure.
I also had a very difficult time figuring out how to use the slash moves.
I find the slash moves are really easy, though. You just, like, click, 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 click.
Yeah, but they didn't give me the tip that you have to let go of the A button afterwards until after that battle.
Well, they were hoping you would figure it out first. Plus, you can't die in that battle anyway, so...
It's fine. I'm not saying it's not fine. I'm just saying it took me a little bit of time.
Sure. I think I picked it up easier because I remember playing it. so vividly. And it's pretty similar to that, except you're doing it in the air instead of on the screen.
Yeah, and that's another note. I did play at least half of The World Ends With You on DS. I definitely did. But I remember, well, before I started playing this, I remembered, like, almost nothing at all. And now that I'm playing through, stuff is familiar. Like, I remember the Red Hoodie guys, and I remember the noise, but I don't really remember anything about how you play, like the control scheme, or really much at all, except that as I'm playing through it, I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds familiar. So yeah, so it's just, I don't know, it's surprising to me that I played through it and, like, it made no impression.
To be fair, it was probably, like, many years ago.
That's fair, but still.
At least, like, 7 years ago.
I didn't play it right when it came out, though. I know that.
Well, we got 2 copies for Christmas because it didn't have multiple save files, and we both wanted to play it.
Well, anyway, I'm enjoying it now, except that we're on the 3rd day, so, like, light spoilers ahead if you haven't played the first, like, hour of the game or something like that. But we're on the 3rd day. And so we've done all the stuff with, like, well, first of all, I figured out the whole imprinting puzzle, like, 3 steps ahead of it finishing. So I wish I could have just skipped to the end, but that's fine. And so we're in the darkness. We have to fight these stupid bats. And it's just like there's no indication of how to fight the bats. And so Josh and I are both fighting, and nothing ever happens, and I just die. Until one time, somehow, Josh's character, he's playing as, like, Kyrie 2.0 or whatever, like, jumped up and it was light suddenly and he was doing a bunch of damage, but I was already, like, almost dead, so it was too late.
Do you have your cure pin on?
I don't have a cure pin.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
The soda can.
I thought that was, like, an item.
No, it's a cure pin.
What? You can't drink a soda more than once?
If you level it up, you get more cures.
Oh, man.
Come on, Malin.
I thought it was an item.
Ryan was trying to help you out there.
Like in...
There is no items in this.
I
mean, there are. There's food you can eat and clothes you can wear.
Right,
but there's
we got
not, like,
ramen.
Potions.
Oh, man. Now I feel stupid.
It's okay.
It's like in Pokemon, a can of soda is a one-time use item.
Okay. Well, if they're pins, they're not one-time use. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So that'll help, too.
Well, anyway, I'm overall enjoying the game, and you've kind of, like, told me how to beat that fight now, but it seems like that's something that no one would ever discover if they're playing co-op.
Yeah, I think it's a weird holdover, because, like, in the DS version, like, Shiki's on the top screen, so she's always with, like, those bats in the catwalk, or wherever she is.
Oh.
And Neku's on the bottom screen, so you have to keep focusing on Shiki until she turns the lights on. Whereas with this, they don't have a top screen, so they have to bring Shiki up there. Like, when she's up there, that's what she would normally look like on the DS version.
Oh, see, that makes more sense, because in this one, it's just, like, we think the only reason that she made it up there is because I had just given up.
Yeah, I think Neku just has to run around, and Shiki has to attack until she is brought up there.
But
at least that's how it worked for me.
That's not... You need to have some kind of a pointer to that, because I've been trying to hit it with the little, like...
It does show damage values, and it shows that you're not doing anything.
Right, I realize that, but, like, I don't know. I would have gone back and run around the town for a while to try to, like, find it. It's just, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not. It's just, it is confusing.
One last note on this before we move on, because this has been a lot of save data, is that Click My Boyfriend is really, really excited about the Fusion card minigame. Because it says this is an example of the Sperling experiments that he does a lot of philosophical work on.
You know, though, I bet it's easier in co-op, because for me it's really hard.
Yeah.
My TV screen is too big. I can't see all the cards in my peripheral vision.
I mean, my TV screen is not that big to begin with. It is easier in co-op, but also, CBB gave me the good tip to use your distributed attention, not your, like, focused attention. I don't remember quite what he said.
You, like, look at the middle of the screen and see everything.
Yeah, right? It's easier if you use your scene phenomenology rather than your item phenomenology.
Sure.
He's not listening anymore.
We all get that. Anyway, it's fun, and please buy this game if you have a Switch, because I want a World Ends With You sequel, please. Thanks. Okay.
You won't get a sequel. You'll get a 0.7.
Nomura said he wants to do a sequel.
Right, but he'll give you a 1.7 instead.
This is a 1.7. It has an extra epilogue.
What? Anyway.
Give me the World Ends With You sequel, guys. Please buy this game.
Anyway, save data ends with the world ends with you.
Yes.
Which brings us to today's weather report.
So, there's been a lot of stormy weather about, well, they're not even recent trends, honestly, but kind of recent
ongoing trends.
Yes, of this idea of having microtransactions in a $60 game, a one-time purchase game, also having microtransactions. For example, Devil May Cry 5 has said that they're going to have microtransactions that you can buy some of the money in the game if you want to. And people are upset about this. So my question is whether or not we're upset about microtransactions in $60 games.
I mean, look, these are not games that I'm buying because I'm currently a generation behind on my console. So I don't have any personal experience with these $60 games that are also trying to sell me more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen some interesting commentary on it on Twitter. On the one hand, if these are purely cosmetic things, whatever, right? I don't think anyone is really disputing that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people are a little, but I don't care about those. If they're cosmetic upgrades and you do have some cosmetic choices available to you for free, fine, people can buy those. But it doesn't really affect your gameplay experience in any kind of meaningful way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
I think when it gets to stuff that does affect the gaming experience, that's where it gets tricky. I mean, obviously, if it's something that's the game is going to be it's a portion of the game that you have to then buy. And obviously, I think we can all agree that's bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying $60 for the game, it should be complete.
Mm-hmm.
But where it gets to the middle ground is these microtransactions where the companies are saying, oh no, they're optional, but it's fundamentally changed how the game operates, right? They have these microtransactions that allow you to kind of pay for experience or pay for money or whatever that speeds up the grinding. They wouldn't have made the game with that much grinding in the first place if they weren't trying to get you to pay to skip it.
Yeah.
And I think that those are really murky.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, I've seen a lot of stuff discussing about, how a $60 price tag for a game is not really enough to pay for the production that goes into a game, and that a lot of games should really be priced at $70 or $80. And I can see how someone might be well, we don't want to give up the $60 price tag because if we raise it anymore, people won't want to buy it because we've somehow ingrained it into our mind that $60 is the price for a new AAA game and anything above that is unreasonable, right? So they're well, how about we try to make a little bit more money off this by putting in these microtransactions? So I kind of understand the thought process that goes into making it. I don't know, me personally, even though I feel some trepidation about it, I'd rather just, if you need me to pay an extra $10, I'll just pay the extra $10 up front,
Yeah, and it's also, doing these microtransactions requires you to, have your credit card info on the system, which is also, I don't know, I read this, horrible story this week about, and we'll talk about PSN numbers later in the episode, but about people whose, PSN numbers got hacked, right, and, trying to get it back, and sometimes it's just impossible, right? So I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that I trust any of these gaming companies to be super secure with my information. Not that, yeah, it's just it'll interrupt the flow of the game.
I mean, as much as anything, right? As much as keeping your card.
If I have to stop to input all of my credit card information, that's lame.
Yeah.
then that encouraged you to have it saved on your system. And, like, how secure are these? Not, right? They're, like, 2005 computers. Anyway, that's not really the major reasoning behind it. I just think it's one thing if you're giving people the option who have, like, less time for the game to skip the grinding stuff so they can just continue to move through it. It's another if you've designed your game to almost force people to pay for these microtransactions.
Yeah. I tend to think, like, if it's just so people can, like, skip through stuff if they want to, basically, that's fine. As long as, like, the game itself is totally playable and totally manageable, and you've got, like, difficulty options or whatever for, stuff, and it's just someone who's like, well, I want to play this game, but I don't want to spend 30 hours on it. Fine. I guess. I don't know. I think the games companies are trying to find a solution to the fact that the $60 isn't really covering everything anymore. And they're trying to go for microtransactions, but there's such a bad taste in the mouth of the gaming community when it comes to microtransactions, so I'm not sure that's the right way to go.
I agree. I think it's just got to be raise the price of the games. I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree. I also I still feel like sometimes whenever I see a game that's like fully $60, and this is just because, of course, I have a PS3 and I only buy full price games for my Nintendo Switch, right? But whenever I see a $60 game, I'm like, ugh, $60. Ugh. Are there any used ones? But also, it's a new game. It's like hours and hours and hours and hours of entertainment.
Yeah.
Objectively, it's worth the money.
Yeah. I mean, movies cost like $20 if you're going not in like a matinee or whatever. And, that's overpriced, but it's way less content than most games are going to give you. And they're only 3 times the price.
So that's been this week's weather report. Speaking of weather, well, sort of. That was I had like a transition, but I forgot that the off-topic corner is usually like we're getting cozy kind of a transition. I didn't want to step on that. So, speaking of weather, there's a chill in the air. I've got it now. I'm back on track. And when it's chilly, that just means that you just want to get all cozy, wrapped up in a blanket, and stay inside and play some video games, but also talk about some stuff that isn't video games, because you can't play video games all day. Someone will worry about you. So come on over, take a seat, pull up a beanbag, wrap yourself in a cozy quilt. This is the Off-Topic Corner.
Yes, so for today's Off-Topic Corner, we're talking about what we love about fall. And ironically, I'm going to say I actually like that it's chilly in the fall. Give me that chilly air.
Was it the same in Boston? Did fall just, arrive this week?
No, it's been, like one day is 60 degrees, one day is 85 degrees, one day is 65 degrees, one day is 82 degrees, one day, it just keeps going like that.
That's funny. See, here it was so warm. It was fall for, half a week a few weeks ago, and then it got really warm again. And then it was really warm up until, Thursday afternoon, and then it rained, and now it looks like it's just gonna be fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the leaves are just starting to change color here, which I feel like usually it's earlier than this, but I think the summer was longer, it lasted a little longer this year, so it's a little bit of a late, pretty color season. Yeah. My campus has a lot of very colorful trees, so I commend whoever, planted the trees and, yes, this one will be yellow, and this one will be red, and it will be beautiful in the fall. And the pictures will be so beautiful. Good job, promotional people who planted these trees.
Yeah, they finally took all of the scaffolding off of my street. So it's one, feels much more open and pretty and nice, but 2, I can see the trees, so maybe they'll change color and I'll really get to take a look at that this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I do like that it's getting chilly. I really feel like this is my first real, autumn in 6 years, Because last year, I don't really feel like there was that much of it in New York. It was just really hot for a long time, and suddenly it was winter. And this year, I think we're really going to get some fall weather, which I am really looking forward to.
Well, say goodbye to it, because it probably won't last. Probably soon have nothing but heat and freezing cold, because our Earth is falling apart. Yay!
Let's not talk about it. It just makes me anxious just to even think about it.
It's really easy to recycle here, so I've been doing a lot of recycling.
That's good. I'm a vegetarian. I'm doing my part.
There you go.
Anyway, let's see. What else do I like about fall? I like that I don't have to run my air conditioner all the time. Like my electric bill goes down. I like that I don't really like the gray days, but those are days where it's easier to just stay in and play video games and watch TV, which is nice sometimes. I like that I can really go back to hot drinks. Not that, I drink hot drinks in the summer too, but I like that they're nice, just being able to hold on to the hot drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's funky pants season. Heck yeah!
The funky pants addict is coming out.
Funky.
She's emerging.
I wore them yesterday. They aren't really funky pants I'm wearing today, but they are colored. New York is already starting to transition into its all-black, cold weather attire, and I'm really trying to fight that this year.
Yeah, Boston's like that too.
You got any more fall favorites?
No, not really. I like that it's chilly. My allergies are bad year-round, so I can't really say anything about that.
I like that pie is more prevalent.
Of course.
I do. Although I celebrated the first real full chilly day of fall by going to the new ice cream place that opened on my corner.
Good timing.
It finally opened. I'm so excited. Now
there is something nice about ice cream on a chilly day. I don't know.
There is.
Not like a cold day, but a chilly day.
There is. And the nice thing about it is that even on a cold day, I can walk from this place, from the door of my apartment to this place in probably about 45 seconds flat. If I'm motivated, which it's ice cream, so I am. So yeah, the thing I like most about fall is just chunking up.
There you go.
What is that?
It's a car. Vroom, vroom, vroom. It's the traffic report.
Wow. That stopped traffic right there.
There's so much traffic now because whatever that car's doing. So give us the rundown, Madelyn.
All right. So our traffic report, checking out what's been up on our web presence, social media and website these past 2 weeks. On the blog, we've just got our regularly scheduled content. 2 editions of Clickbait Boyfriend. He's almost done with Aqua's story now. Tune in when does Clickbait Boyfriend publish? Tuesday. To see the final edition of his regular Aqua storyline. That'll be wrapping up. I've got a lot of great original memes in the Clickbait Boyfriends these past 2 weeks. So, definitely check them out for that. That's another thing. The memes in The World Ends With You have not aged well.
I love that picture where she's like, "What's a meme?" And then Beat just answers with ellipses. That's a great photo. I
might have screenshotted that. I can't remember. It's just funny. It's we put memes in people's head and then they do something. It's
that's the definition of the word meme though, isn't it?
I know, but that's not really how we use it now.
I know, that's not how we use it now, but that's where it originated from. I'm pretty sure.
No, you're right. Anyway, there are a lot of 2018 definition memes that I made in the last 2 Clickbait Boyfriends, so really check it out. We also grapple with whether Kingdom Hearts is sexist, which, it is. Right?
I mean, Aqua's a step forward from Kairi, Come on.
Yeah, but why does Aqua have to deal with all that BS from Phil and Zach?
I agree with Phil. Zach asked. She could have said no way.
And she does.
Okay.
And, okay, so here's what happens. He asks, she's like, I gotta go. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, when I'm a real hero. Got it.
To be fair, she's just out of there, so she never has to deal with that again.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go back either.
With each character, they've like made like a couple of strides forward to making them more interesting, and I'm hoping Kairi will be more interesting in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see.
Let's see if she still gets her flowery friggin' Keyblade.
She's allowed to like flowers. Being a good female character doesn't mean that they're not feminine. Okay?
I'm not saying that.
That's important to remember. When you're making a female character, it doesn't mean that they have to not be feminine for them to be interesting, okay?
It does mean that if she only gets the Keyblade for a hot 30 seconds.
Well, she has it in the cover art, so I'm hoping she uses it. I have a pet theory that the tutorial will be, like, playing as either Kairi. Oh, you haven't gotten there yet. Never mind.
Okay. Anyway, back to the traffic report. We've also had 2 just absolutely wild editions split screen in the past 2 weeks. Like, if there's a time to jump into split screen, y'all, it is right now.
It's now.
It is right now. You will not understand anything that's going on in Boys Over Flowers. It's
That's
probably
okay.
better that way.
Neither do we.
Yeah, so there's been some wild stuff going on in the split screen in both Boys Over Flowers and in My Hero Academia. Emma's killing it with the graphics game. I think Emma's graphics go underappreciated here. I really like how cartoon Madelyn and Emma have different facial expressions every week. So go for those alone, because those are pretty swell. Also, on our YouTube channel, Talk the Sisters, there's a new edition of Play This. Emma, you want to give the little pitch for that?
Yeah, so made a edition of Play This with Octopath Traveler, which is getting slightly more views than my latest Play This is, by like 10 views. But knock that up more, guys, because I really like this one. I go into like the choices that Octopath Traveler made that just baffle me as to why they decided to make it that way. So you can enjoy that.
Well, get excited.
Yes. And the next one will be on The World Ends With You. I will figure out a way to explain the DS control system without being able to show that footage. Sounds good.
Sounds amazing. When is Noodle Test dropping?
One day. God, one day.
Alright, so I don't really have that much else to share of original content, but I do want to tell you about our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Talk This Podcast. So you should check us out there, see the stuff we share, be the first to hear when new episodes drop, when new blogs are posted, when new videos are uploaded, all that good stuff. And, let us know what you want to see on those pages. Talk to us, give us some feedback. Talk this, right?
Yes.
We're also on YouTube, like I said, Talk This Sisters, so definitely subscribe there and check out the Play This series. And check out our website where you can see all of our blogs, plus more info about us and the show, www.talkthispodcast.com. Let's see, you should also, if you like the show, check us out on the podcasting service of your choice. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, pretty much the whole list. So you can listen to us wherever podcasts are available. And while you're there, you should subscribe so you never miss an episode, rate and review the show, and tell your friends. We always love new people listening to Talk This.
Heck yeah.
All right. Are you ready for our question of the fortnight?
So ready.
All right. So this week, our question of the fortnight is...
in honor of Sony announcing that people will soon be able to change their PlayStation Network names from whatever embarrassing thing they chose when they were in 7th grade. If we were going to change our PlayStation Network, of which Madelyn does not have one, and I'm perfectly satisfied with mine, what would we change it to?
I have yours.
Yeah, you have mine. You don't have your own PlayStation Network ID, because you have my PS3.
Boy, I'm a loser, aren't I?
I'm pretty sure mine is right now is like Fight or Flight 777 because that's like my second most common online ID. So, and I'm perfectly happy with that. But I don't know what would you change yours to, or what would you make yours?
Champ McDude.
What's your ideal
and
PlayStation
my
Network
dudes.
name? Champ McDude and my dudes, not just
Yeah.
Champ McDude.
No, Champ McDude. I think that would invite too much adoration.
So you add your dudes to tone down the admiration?
Yeah.
Okay. You surround yourself with lesser beings to keep people off of you?
That's pretty much what I do in life. What do you think is the real purpose of this show, you know?
I guess that's true. You know, maybe I would change it to Talk This Podcast and, like, play stuff online and recruit people if I gave that much effort to this.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Promotional. Then I'd have to probably pay for online services, though, which, screw that, man.
For real.
And honestly, my online playing skills would probably drive people away from us more than draw people to us.
No, we're relatable. We're accessible.
Yes. There you go. That's how we'll put it. Our dedicated commenter commented on our Fortnite video saying, like, I've never played Fortnite, so this is top tier gameplay to me. I was like, yes, thank you, Toriko. I appreciate that. Because it definitely is. It's definitely top tier gameplay.
At Fortnite.
Anyway, what are you planning to change your PlayStation Network to? Let us know. And what is your embarrassing PlayStation Network username right now?
And are there any other
curious.
usernames you wish you could switch?
Yeah.
We don't have any power to control that, but we'd love to know.
Yeah. So let us know.
All right, folks. That's it. That's been another Talk This side quest. Tune in next week to hear us discuss Celeste and an old game.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is either. I remember that I picked Assassin's Creed because it was still on the list, but we'd already done that. And then I cannot remember what I picked second.
I sort of thought it was an exciting one, but I don't remember.
God, we're so bad at this. Anyway, listen to last week's episode if you're curious what we picked for next week's episode.
It's all a ploy to make you go back and listen to last week's episode.
It really is.
We remember what it is.
Of course we do.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Emma, you want to send them off with a smile?
I hope you have a chilly, chilly week.